Fourth form. So this is our fourth remote lesson, and it's going to be quite a quick one really. It's just really going over the basics of distance, speed and time. And I don't want to go down the route of using that little pyramid that people sometimes use where you cover one of them over. I just want you to appreciate that it's just really a proportion topic. And when we say someone's going along at 70 miles per hour, what does that actually mean? It means you travel a distance of 70 miles in 60 minutes, and then we really just work everything out just from that starting point. Okay, so title it up 24.1 distance, speed and time. There'll be some fairly straightforward proportion questions, probably taking you 10 minutes or so, and then a sort of a classic GCSE question just to finish. So not too much today. But you know, this is exactly what we would have done in the lesson. So you just got to bear with and just appreciate that this is just what this is just instead of the lesson. So before we make a proper start, this is just something you need to learn. None of the questions here actually include this, but it's in the scheme of work, so I just want you to have it on your to-do list to learn that you can have questions where you've got to convert between imperial distance, so miles like we have in the UK, into kilometres like we have in Europe. So you really need to learn either that 5 miles equals 8 kilometres, or alternatively you can learn that 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometres, and then obviously if whatever the question requires you can just move between one and the other. So 50 miles would be 80 kilometres and so on. So here are our first set of questions, all based on the fact that Molly is driving at a speed of 40 miles per hour. So when you get a question like this, just sort of set the scene. So we're saying in 40 miles, we would travel 40 miles every 60 minutes we drive, and then so on. So I just want you to use this as a starting point and just flex up or down just to adjust the appropriate one to answer these questions. So it's fairly straightforward. So pause the video and have a go at these, and then when you've done, play the video again. You can just check your answers. So obviously 1A, 30 minutes, so that's half the time. You're going to travel half the distance, so that's just going to be your 20 miles. Now 1.5 hours, so lots of ways to do this. You could start off with the 60 and just times them by 1.5, but given that you've got the 20 miles in 30 minutes, 1.5 hours, which is 90 minutes, is just going to be 3 times as long. So you're going to go 3 times as far in the time. So that's your 60 miles. Now 45 minutes. So again, you can really do it from whatever you want, but perhaps the easiest one. Well, 1.5 hours is 90 minutes. So 45 minutes is half the time. So it's going to be half the mileage. So that's going to be your 30 miles. And you probably spotted it when you were doing it. 2 part D is just the same the other way around, so it's 30 miles again. That's going to take you 45 minutes. Now 100 miles, okay, so whichever one you wanted to do really. You could do it from this one, for example. So 20 miles was in 30 minutes, so 5 times as far will take you 5 times as long, so that's going to be 150 minutes. And then 2 miles. Okay, so lots of ways to do that. Perhaps the easiest is just to divide this one here by 10. 2 miles will take you 3 minutes. Right, similar set of questions. So James is running at 12 miles per hour. So starting off with 12 miles being in 60 minutes, can you just work through these? Stop the video, and then when you're done, just check your answers. So obviously 30 minutes, half the time, half the distance, 6 miles. 1.5 hours, so that's 3 lots of 30 minutes, because that's 90 minutes, so 3 lots of 4 miles, 3 lots, sorry, of 6 miles, so that's going to be 18 miles. 45 minutes, again, that's half the 90 minutes, so half the 18 miles, that's going to be 9 miles. How long would it take to travel 30 miles? Okay, so a number of ways to do this. I think I would be tempted to use this one as a starting point. So 5 lots of this. So 5 lots of 30 minutes, 150 minutes. 100 miles. So lots of ways to do that. You could go right back to the starting point, lots of ways of doing that. So I've done 25 times 20. to get me the 500 minutes. So I've just done, so which one have I done from there? 25 times 20, so that's 25 lots of 20, yeah, because I had 500 miles, 500 minutes rather. And then finally, how long would it take you to go 2 miles? So that's going to be 10 minutes. So perhaps the easiest way to do that is just back to your starting fact. 12 miles in 60 minutes, divide both by 6, we get 2 miles in 10 minutes. So a step up in difficulty here, but I want you to try and answer this again just by using the proportions, okay? That's 10 miles, that's 18 miles. The second you are given a speed, remember that's 40 miles in 60 minutes. So good luck, pause the video and see how you get on. Okay, so let's go through the facts. The distance from Fulbert to Ganby is 10 miles. Yep. And from Ganby to Horton is 18 miles. And she's going to go, Raksha is going to drive from Fulbert to Ganby, then she drives from Ganby to Horton, so she's going left to right. Right. So we're told she leaves Fulbert at 10 o'clock. So pop your 10 o'clock in here. Now she's travelling from Fulbert to Ganby at an average speed of 40 miles per hour. So that means she's going 40 miles in 60 minutes as she goes from F to G. Now she's got to go 10 miles, so that's a quarter of the mileage. It's going to take a quarter of the time. It's going to take 15 minutes. So given that she left Fulbert at 10 o'clock, she's going to get to Ganby at 10:15. Now we're told she wants to get to Horton for 10:35. So leaving Ganby at 10:15, getting to Horton at 10:35. So that's going to take 20 minutes. So she's got to go 18 miles in 20 minutes. 18 miles in 20 minutes. Now for a speed, we need to know how far they would go in an hour. So we need to flex this up from 20 minutes to an hour, which is 60 minutes. So multiplying by 3, 20 minutes becomes 60 minutes. And similarly, multiplying by 3, 18 minutes becomes 54 minutes. So we go 54 miles in 60 minutes. So the average speed that Raksha must drive from Ganby to Horton is 54 miles per hour. So that's it for today. Quite a quick one. If you're looking for something else to do, I would suggest you just try and look for anything on Hegarty Maths to do with speed, distance and time. But I do appreciate that a lot of people are trying to get onto Hegarty at the moment, so it is crashing a lot, hence why I am trying to keep away from it at the moment. So stay safe and good luck, and I'll speak to you soon.